Well, you know, I would say every time I had a crisis, somehow God used that crisis to either check me out or show me what is in my own heart, and then lift me one step higher or one level higher. It always came through a crisis. If Jericho wouldn't have had a wall, we would never know that the Lord can tip such walls. If there hadn't been a Red Sea, how would we know that He can open it? You know, these crises are actually in our favor because we will break through them. And then through it all, we come to trust in Jesus. And we come to trust in God. And that brings us one level higher. And I had crisis after crisis after crisis. And every time I just threw myself into the arms of the Lord, for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer. I just wanted Jesus, Jesus, and nothing but Jesus. I ignored all economic advantages. I just fell into the arms of Jesus. And when I was in His arm, I realized I had the advantage of all advantages, and that is still the same today.
It was out of such a crisis that Christ for All Nations was born. There you were working in Lesotho. You were part of the German Pentecostal church at that time. You were
Yes.
working as so many traditional missionaries work today. But then there came a time when things reached a point where you said, I have to resign.
My church in Germany, when the big director came to visit me in Lesotho and he saw my activity there, I had established a printing press. I had established other projects to evangelistically penetrate Lesotho. They became scared and they said, look, that's all commendable, but if you go bankrupt, your lenders will not get after you, they will get after us because you are one of us. You see, we want you to stop. Stop, stop, that was their message. Stop, be like all our other missionaries. Don't do what you do because you will pull us into the black hole of the universe. You know?
Yeah.
So, I wanted peace. We had been arguing for years. I was so tired of arguing, and I said, Lord, doesn't your word say that we should live in peace? Why can't I submit to my brothers? Why can't I? And then just live in peace. But I was not, I said to Annie, my wife, I said, I book into an hotel, in a lodge there. I will fast and pray until I've heard from God. Until I've heard from God. I went to that Riverside Lodge. I booked myself in. The moment I came into that room, I fell flat on my knees. I cried out. I said, oh Lord, what now? What now? You've showed me a blood-washed Africa, and here I'm told to stop. What now? What must I do? Shall I submit? Shall I be in peace with them? That moment the Holy Spirit spoke to me. I really felt God speak. He said to me, if you drop the vision of a blood-washed Africa, I have to drop you and look for somebody else. Gordon, I started to shake and tremble. I said, Lord, let everyone drop me. I don't care. But you don't drop me. I want to be in your hands, only in your hands, no matter what. I decided I had to hurry. I jumped up from my knees. My fasting hadn't lasted an hour. I jumped up, I paid my bill, I got into the car, I drove home. I said, Annie, where is my typewriter? I want to type. I want to resign. She said, oh, can't you please sleep one night over it? I said, no sleeping necessary. I don't want God to drop me. I don't want God to drop me. I wrote that letter. I rushed to the post office and I dropped it. And I had peace in my heart. That was the hour of birth of the ministry of Christ for all nations. And all of a sudden, all rivers began to flow my way. And I realized I'm swimming. I'm no more just knee deep or ankle deep. I'm swimming in the fullness of God. I will swim from Cape Town to Cairo.
And you'd already begun to use the name Christ for All Nations for your printing press, hadn't you?
Yes.
And that was the name of the new mission that you established.
Correct.
Thank you for watching. See you in our next video right here on Kingdom Generals TV. Shalom.